Hello, everyone. Welcome to From 2 to 4, where we want to show Weiss Schwarz for everyone. I am Kisa, and because of the Weiss Schwarz Invitational that's going to happen like very soon, I think I already started actually. We're going to bring you the deck decks of all the players that we can get in this time frame. And our first guest is the one and only Sven Lees, also known as Neviutz. How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm
Also,
fine.
you hella butchered my last, but it's all right.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. This English is not my first language, so we're good. So, uh, we are here with your deck, thanks to the lovely guys from the Weiss Schwarz Invitational and Encore decks. You chose to play Yuuki+Sinon, the all-time
Yes.
classic. Uh, Explain to us, why is this your choice for this magnanimous event?
So, considering that it's an English-only event, and we had to play either English decks or Japanese decks that are fully available in English, I actually didn't have many choices without going out of my way to borrow a deck from someone. And at the same time, this build of SAO is the build I've mostly played in English tournaments, and I still think that is one of the most consistent decks in the English meta game. It might not be the best, but it's definitely one, if not the most consistent deck, in my opinion.
I see. I mean, SAO has a very large card pool, and that means that you have a lot of options in every level and just
Yes,
play
definitely.
whatever you want. So we're
Pretty
gonna
much that.
let's check out the level zeros first and talk about some of your choices. I see that you went for more of the Amagi instead of the Brainstorm, and full four copies of the Clean Cut and the Runner. So pretty
Mm-hmm.
standard, but really comfortable for you probably.
Yeah, I think the Brainstorm is kind of interchangeable. Like, you definitely want to have at least 3 Amagis. I guess you could play 4, but I don't see the reason to. I think you want to play any 2 Brainstormers. It doesn't matter if you play the Sleeping Knights, the Asuna, maybe even the spammable Xenon. You just want to have like an extra way to get through your deck. And I
Any
personally prefer the Asuna because it does give me a little bit of extra power on my turn. There is potential matchups where it is nice to have that extra 500 power for my clean cut.
I
So
see, I
yeah,
see. Also, Clean Cut, one of the best cards in SAO, like,
yes,
in my
definitely.
opinion. This is 4K on the turn enters. Very good. One question about the level
3500.
of spirits. If you have the brainstorm, it's 4K.
Yeah, if you have the brainstorm, it's 4K. Also, the Sleeping Knights only give power to Yuki and Asuna, so that's the other downside, in my opinion.
One quick question before we move on. Any reason you're not doing the level 0 Silica on stage? The one that pay one, choose a character, give it on reverse solve.
Um, I've considered it in the past, but I don't actually have a lot of space in this deck with what I'm running. I could probably change some stuff around, but I'm already at 17 zeros. And while it's a good card, and it does trigger your level 1 Suguha, which we'll probably get to later, um, I do actually think that I just don't have the space to run it. And I do prefer running the 0-0 Asuna on reverse reveal top, and if it's a level 1 higher, it goes to stock.
Yeah, this card's
I think a lot of people are
it's one
sleeping
of
on this card. Like, yeah, that one.
yeah, this card's
I know, I
amazing.
know that, I know that most people play it like once, maybe twice, but I think it's definitely justified running 3.
You convinced me to play it at Worlds, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, on to level ones. We have obviously the four Yuki, two determination with life in the line, two vital
Mm.
counters. This is the pretty standard lineup for level ones, and you chose the SEO Survivor pair and the Swimsuit Sugoka. This is like the most different card on many deck lists. Can you talk about that?
You mean both of them or just the Suguha?
Just the Suguha. I think people know this card enough. The
Yeah,
Suguha
I
is
mean
like the
the
big
SAO
thing.
Survivor is a really strong card. Yeah, the Suguha, its downside is basically negligible,
For
but
sure.
its upside is actually pretty strong if you ask. I like to I like to kind of be reactionary as opposed to be the active player. So this actually goes very well with me liking to hoard counters on my hand. Plus, it does actually let you wall off a good amount of decks because it does
Yeah.
get pretty big if you trigger its effect
So if you
and
use a
counter on top.
backup, if you use a counter, this is plus 15. This is
Yeah, it
2K
goes up to
counter.
like something stupid like 10, 10, 5 or something,
This
depending
is
on what you have on your board.
this is 7K on its own. If you do this, it's 9K. If you have this, it's 10K. I see. You have a very
Yeah.
solid...
Also, if you have the Amagi, you have another 1K to split somewhere.
Yeah.
So it does create a lot of scenarios where it makes your opponent think for like what they want, like what they can kill, and how they best go about it.
Okay. Very good actually. Let's talk about the reason why you went for Yuki itself, because obviously she is one of the best level 1 combos SAO has in English. So
Yes.
why do you go for her
Um,
as your bossing combo?
I mean, my two options were basically play Link Strike Standby or play Book Bar, or like Yuuki+Sinon. And I think that Link Strike is a lot less consistent than Book Bar is. That's why, like you said, Yuki is one of the best level 1 combos you have in SAO. And I think just the general ability to, pay out your stock whenever you have to. You have so many different choices that you can make with this type of setup. Like, oh, you just triggered a bar, you don't know what the blind stock is, just pay it out. And like just the ability that you have that you can get 2 cards from your deck instead of just being limited to 1 makes you filter your hand in a much better way too.
Yeah,
And that's what I actually really
I
like
see.
about
And
this card.
also like, yeah, you can like get a counter if you have the Amagi. You can play defense with her, and
Yeah, it just synergizes so well, and like if you want, you can even shuffle the counter back in after you used it, like if you have another bar or something with the 0/0 Asuna.
Very good. Let's go on to level 2s. You have 2 money counters. The basically the anti-level 3 choice and Machina Weiss. I haven't seen that much, but I think she's mandatory in this build specifically. But anything you want to say about this level 2 lineup?
I mean, a position by shield anti-damage counter is pretty standard. Everybody who plays green plays that. The anti-level 3, I know a lot of people only play 1. I like having more reachability towards it, and I like the fact that it's a climax swapper as well. I'll be honest, I haven't played in a while, so with all the new sets that came out in English, I'm not 100% sure if it's a good card to run at 2 anymore. But I definitely would at least run 1. I just don't know what else I would run in its stead, so I just kept it as it is right now.
I see.
This is basically the same deck I ran all time last year.
Yeah, I mean nothing else came out, so you could change, and you're not splashing.
I mean, Goblin
yellow,
Slayer
so...
came out in English, JoJo, I think, Batman Ninja, and stuff like that.
I mean for SAO itself.
Like, for SAO, yeah, that's true.
You got the.
I mean, there is Alicization that came out. Like, I've been wanting to put into level 3 Musashi Asuna.
That's a very good card. That's a very good card for this deck.
Yeah, and like the Machine of Ice, I think it's a very interchangeable card. I don't actually play it out very often, but I do like just having the option to, like if you need it, you have the option to get it.
Exactly, and Yuki being so versatile, and the selection it gives is so good that you're allowed to play these one-offs like this.
Yes, exactly.
Or the level 3 we're gonna see like in a moment.
Yes,
because we have also the level 3 lineup here. Anything else?
Yeah. Also, it does trigger the Suguha's ability as well.
Very important.
So that's another thing.
Yeah, very important. It's a very free act you can use.
Oh yeah, and we've only been talking about like the Suguha ability, but the Amagi also has the same ability, just that you choose a character. That's the other thing.
For sure. I mean, Amagi is one of the best cards in SAO.
Yes, definitely. The card profile in general for Amagi is just so good, and it being combined with another 1K on Act, it's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, let's come to the thing that kills people, like the finishers. We have four last year's Sinon, as every Yuuki+Sinon deck should have, and the stock. This is the stock swapper, right?
Yes, it's the stock swapper, and whenever you take damage during your opponent's turn, if it's in front row, you can scry and leave it on top or put it in a waiting room.
So basically, this is like another of your specific tutor targets for matchups that rely heavily on compression, like
Yes.
Fate, Fantasia. If people are playing Fantasia, they
I think
like
there's one. I think there's one Fantasia Bunko.
Yeah, they want to have this very clean stock. They nurture during the whole game with the standby. You just get that out. Like, Bangrium if you play like a very stuck toilet build or Mario build, you just get them all out. No
Definitely.
compression for you. It's a very powerful card, and I see her inclusion as like a very good idea.
Yeah, I think you could justify running two of it. The other thing is just like against decks like Attack on Titan, where you have a lot of ping one. The on damage scry top deck and leave it on top or put it in a waiting room is actually pretty strong.
Yeah. Let's talk about Lifa and Sinon combined. Why did you go for these two like finishers? Obviously, Sinon is your climax combo finisher, but why is Lifa the best partner for Sinon in this situation?
So first of all, having the clock dig option is pretty good. The other thing that is even better is it lets you dig top X of your deck, which is sometimes very important. Like especially in this deck, you don't have a lot of draw aside from clocking. So like your 1/0 SAO survivor and your Leafer are basically the only ones. So like whenever you're missing the climax for Sinon, this is your best way to get it.
I see. Also, you can like get any climax, and because you run high counts of this, you can just swap it for the
Yes, that, or you can get the anti-damage if you know that maybe you can't finish this turn, just, try to stall another turn and then kill the turn after. Something like that.
Also, this works in both turns. So, if you when you're doing your wall plan on defense, it's huge, and you can basically be in a lot of level threes and
Yes,
just clock
definitely.
keep them. Like you can reach around 14K with this. So if your opponent is, you can reach around 14K. This is 11 plus the 1K. You can reach around like 14.
Yeah, 11, 2K from counter, 1K on Magi, and depending on what else you have on board, Machine of Ice or SAO Survivor. It gets pretty big too, yeah.
Yeah. So and that's 15. It's a 14, 15 is a very sweet spot for some finishers. So
Yeah, I
beat
mean,
them.
Sinon does, like in mirror matches, Sinon does get to 14-5 just with the climax, if it cancels.
Yeah. Uh, let's finish this by talking about.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter much because it just goes to memory beforehand.
Yeah. But yeah, Sinon herself on attack pay 2, ditch 1, burn 4. If the damage is cancelled, plus 3.5k. Uh, uh, Anything like when you play this card, how many how do you feel when this card is in play, and like do you feel like you can kill people like from very 3-0 states? That's the idea.
I
People,
mean, it really does depend on the game state, right? If they're heavily compressed, it's very unlikely that you will kill, depending on the amount of Sinons that you have. Like for example, if you can actually pull off 3 Sinons, it's pretty big, because like you just need 1 attack and 1 burn to hit, and then it's basically game over.
yeah.
But it does take a lot of stock to actually get there, and some decks might just actually screw you over with that. But yeah, I think if you have 2 Xenons, like I don't know all of the maths exactly on top of my head. Would have to use the ENTCG app for that to calculate that.
Probably.
But yeah, I think generally my goal is like if I actually want to when I finish my opponent, I usually try and go for 2 Xenons, 1 Leafa if I can. That's more reasonable than 3 Xenons in terms of stock.
I see. I see. And you +1 when you play the Leafa.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
very solid deck. Not gonna lie, like it very much.
I mean, to be honest, it's basically the cookie cutter SAO Kisa deck, with just like 1 or 2 cards different from most of their builds. I mean, there like whenever you play Yuuki+Sinon, there isn't a whole lot you can play different, in my opinion, for this deck.
You have the only options you can say like, oh, maybe the 3-2 Asuna, the
Yeah,
one, or the 3-2 Musashi that just came out. You don't play any of those.
Yeah, just change around some numbers maybe, depending on your preference.
Expectations for your event, for this event. How do you feel?
I mean, like I said before, I haven't really played in months due to COVID-19. Nothing's really happening. Yeah, I would say I'm a little rusty, but I think I can still perform pretty well, despite not having played in a while.
And what's your opinion on this event, like this Weiss Schwarz Invitational event? What do you think?
I like it. It does help in these dark times that we have some form of, tournaments going on. It's gonna be interesting to see how it's gonna go with like everybody playing on webcam, because I've played over webcam before with a lot of people, and the camera setups and stuff I've seen in the past does make me kind of nervous on whether or not it's gonna be so amazing with camera. But other than that, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, people have been getting their reps on remote fights, so they probably have better camera setups by now.
Hopefully.
Thank you very much for conceding this interview to us.
Thank you as well for reaching out to me.
For sure. I mean, I'll see you soon, and I hope you guys, people watching, enjoyed this content. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments. Any opinion, leave it there. And if you want to check out the Weiss Schwarz Invitational, you can check it in the Twitch channel that we are going to leave in the description. And if you want to check Nav, check his Twitch channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. See you, guys. See you, Nav.
See ya.